Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your Revel Shorty. We're going to carry on my long-running thing now of just isn't Mad Cave Studios cool with the body trade. Because, yeah, I'm not going to lie, once again, it's a Mad Cave Studios book, and yet again, it's brilliant. This actually was on my pull list before it came out, which hasn't been the case for a few things I've reviewed recently, where I'm just happy to try things out. Is one of the benefits of my job. I literally own a comic book store. I get to read all the comics. In this particular case, though, it had to go on there because you've got Zach Thompson writing it, who's one of the many Zachs out there who are amazing writers. Him and Kaplan are just absolutely knocking out the park every single time they're attempting anything at the moment. Even stuff that I'm not particularly buying simply because I can't afford it, it's always interesting. These guys who's putting out stuff is always worth paying attention to. Throw into the fact you've got Jock on art, that's kind of a standout as well. And it's the artwork that actually was probably the only thing that I may have kept me on the fence. It's not that I dislike Jock's artwork, I really, really do. But he tends to veer into stylized stuff quite a lot, and sometimes that means it's not quite the right art for the comic book. I've never seen him do anything where I'd be like, man, this definitely doesn't work. But let's face it, he's also never, as far as I'm aware, done the artwork for the Flash comic books. I don't think it'd work for that. I've been impressed when he's done some science fiction stuff, and it's really worked out better than I thought it would. But I was like, okay, let's see what happens with this one, because without really getting into it too much from the get-go, there's a lot going on here, and I was thinking, well, what I really want this to be is far more of a grounded, character-based kind of thing, rather than some of the high-concept kind of story they're doing, which has like a more sci-fi, almost cyberpunk kind of thing to it. Thankfully, after reading it, I realised what I should have done is trust both Zach and Jock, that's exactly what they've done for me, because I really do like my character stories, or my character-first stories, more than anything else. Tell me who these people are. Tell me their place in the world, their relationship with everyone else, why they do what they do, their motivations, their fears, their desires. Give me all of that, and then tell a cool story with them. That's the way it should work for me, and thankfully we have that here. And even though the characters are not that likable, I found myself loving them. This is the thing that, again, that Jock does really well, is how kind of grounded he can make stuff look while also being stylized. All these characters seem to be almost caricatured to a certain degree, not so much that it's ridiculous or odd, but enough that they stand out in a world full of people. And that is important because this is a busy world. There's a lot going on in it. There is one character we never even see on the page, at least as far as I'm aware of. But every single other character that we see feels unique and individual. The clothes they're wearing, the way they walk when they're angry, and there's a lot of anger in this one. The turn of the roll of the eye, the eyebrow moves up and down. There's all these little things which make them unique individual characters, and that is the most important thing, and it's done so well. Also really nice colouring, and I think really, really good inking. Some really nice depth to the shadows because of how heavy the ink has gone. It reminds me, for multiple reasons, of like John McCrea at the best he's ever been. That kind of like full distinct characterization is given to every single person, and deep shadow inkings, trusting that to give depth to it rather than overly done gradiated colouring. And I really, really do like the colouring as well. It looks far more hand-done than most of the stuff I've seen. Genuinely fantastic looking book. Story-wise, yes, I've told you that all these characters are amazing. It's a story of grief and anger. Like I said, there's a lot of anger in here, and I like how it's approached. Different people are responding in different ways. There are some people who bury their anger, who feel like they're in a position where to express it would be damaging for themselves, their livelihoods, their families even. There's some people who use it at the drop of a hat to get a point across because they know it is a righteous anger, and it is. There's a moment at a funeral with just blistering rage, but at no point did it feel overdone or unnecessary. It felt, if anything, like people were trying to calm the situation down early. I wanted to see this rage burn up. Then we've got the rage of somebody who knows they've done wrong. Our main character, he's a flawed human to say the least. He is responsible for some of the most hellish moments in other people's lives, and you can tell he's going through the motions to try to get to a point where he can move past that. The rest of the world might not be ready for him, and that's going to make this hard for him. It's going to drag him down. And when you see his anger, it comes from this place where he understands the harm he's done, and he's trying to find a way to not necessarily rectify it or make it better, but to prove that he is more than the harm he's done in the past. This could mean he's going to do harm in the future, but he's trying to direct it to something more useful, something that actually might make a difference for the positive. But as a lot of people will tell you, that kind of anger is still harmful, it is still risky, and I think it's going to be a fantastic exploration of that theming as it goes through this comic book, and I can't wait to see how it goes. I'm so happy to put it on my pull list, and once again, I'm so happy that Mad Cave Studios are putting out amazing comic books like this. If you're not paying attention to them, you need to start now. That's it for me. That's probably me for the week. I've got one more thing I might review, but it depends on how busy I am tomorrow. Until I see you again, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.